Bobby, and you're watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So for those of you guys who didn't know, Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, he was supposed to fight on the Cotto versus Kirkland undercard, and now since that whole card has gotten canceled, now they're looking for a new date. According to MOISES FLORES, he talked to his manager Al Heyman, and according to MOISES FLORES, Al Heyman is trying to put this fight on Showtime, possibly in March or April, which will probably be a main event. So, you know, the good news, the bad news, of course, is we're not going to get to see this fight in February, or this month, I should say. The good news is the fight is still alive, and it's just around the corner from February. So hopefully both of these guys, they get in the ring as soon as possible, because both of them have been out of the ring for a while. So they can shake off the rust, and, you know, we'll see. We'll see if this is the type of style that brings out the best of Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, which I truly believe it does. If you guys haven't been paying attention when it comes to Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, if you notice, the only times the fights that Guillermo Rigo is involved in are slow is when his opponents are afraid to engage, right? And this is not just something that happens to Rigo because of his style. This happens to all kinds of fighters. If an opponent is reluctant and he doesn't want to exchange, it doesn't matter how exciting you are. You can ask Manny Pacquiao when he fought against Joshua Clottey. A lot of fans said that fight was boring, but because Manny Pacquiao has his hope insurance, they didn't blame that on Manny Pacquiao. Now, if that would have been Guillermo Rigo versus Joshua Clottey, they would have said it was all Rigo's fault. Why? Because he's on a coincidental list, obviously, right? This is what we've seen in the Rigo versus Joseph Agbeko fight. For those of you guys who don't know, Joseph Agbeko is a very aggressive fighter. He normally throws punches in bunches. But when Joseph Agbeko went up against Guillermo RIGONDEAUX, that's when all of a sudden, Joseph Agbeko, he didn't want to punch anymore. Because these fighters skill recognize skill. And these fighters, they realize how good Guillermo RIGONDEAUX is. If you really think about it, when fighters get in the ring with Guillermo Rigo, and even before they get in the ring, they treat this man like he's Mike Tyson. That is how they treat him. They freeze up. You know, like I said, once again, fighters that usually throw a whole lot of punches, all of a sudden they don't want to throw any punches because they know how dangerous Guillermo Rigo is. And just to give you one more example when it comes to the obvious double standards, when Nonito Donaire, I remember when he fought against Narvaez, it was the same situation. You know, Narvaez was doing really good in the first 6 rounds. After that, Narvaez kind of slowed down and he was extremely defensive, and people complained about the fight not being an exciting fight. Who did they blame on the fight not being exciting? They blamed Donaire's opponent as opposed to blaming Nonito Donaire himself. Okay? So this is nothing new in the sport of boxing. We know what time it is at the end of the day. So, you know, once again, I'm really looking forward to watching this fight, Rigo versus Flores, because like I said, Flores, he has an aggressive style. He's tall, he's strong, he's going to come forward, and these are usually the best fights that we see involving Guillermo Rigo. Perfect example, when Guillermo Rigo, when he fought the Goliath, the Japanese fighter, Amagaza, who was at least a division bigger than Guillermo RIGONDEAUX. He was much taller. He was almost 6 foot tall. He had to be at least from 5'10" to 6 feet tall. Then you also had Guillermo Rigo versus, of course, Nonito Donaire. Nonito Donaire coming forward the entire night, and that cost him. That cost him dearly. Damn near broke his eye socket coming forward all night. So, you know, if you come forward and you really want to fight, this is when you're most likely going to see the best Guillermo Rigo. And it's funny because the more I think about it, we often hear fighters like Gennady Golovkin, Canelo Alvarez, and other fighters like that. We often hear them say I like my opponents to come forward. I like my opponents to come forward, etc., etc., etc. So my point is, they should understand that when Guillermo Rigo is facing a guy that's just trying to survive, as opposed to an opponent who actually really came to fight, they should understand that that is most likely going to bring the best out of Guillermo Rigo. Just like it brings the best out of Gennady Golovkin or Canelo Alvarez. Okay? So once again, the fight will most likely be March or April on Showtime, according to Al Heyman. That's pretty much all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one.
You stupid fool. Did you really think you gonna hit me? Huh? Bam, bam, bam. Over.